Hi everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda.
We're the Newcomers. You've been with us for over 4 years now, and you've seen kind of a transformation.
Yes, we have changed our landscaping about 3 or 4 times. Not the hardscape, but the plantings, and we've just had some trouble.
Yeah, and this recent freeze has really got it looking bad.
Yeah, since Christmas it was really, we had really freezing weather in December, and they said whatever had died or been burnt or whatever from the frost, to just leave it until March, and we did. And this is what it looks like.
You know, it's amazing. Some of the plants have come back really well, and others not so much. But our problem's deeper than that. For example, this Washingtonia palm. This is one of those big boys. Now this was planted 6.5 years ago, and it's taller, much taller than the house. But it's hard to maintain. It has a skirt. You've seen them all around the villages. You particularly don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it when that goes down and looks like a big old beard. It looks, I don't know, unkempt.
It's unkempt, and they fall, and they can be dangerous. But for us, it's just unsightly.
Well, all over our yard, we have these. Just all the time. It's just everywhere. In our plants, in our rocks, and it's hard to pick up.
Plus, the taller this gets, the harder it is to maintain. Right now, they could do it pretty much with a small ladder and some saws, but as it gets bigger, we'll have to hire a bucket truck.
Right.
And if you watch Miami Vice, these are those gigantic palm trees. It's going to dwarf our house before long. We've opted to keep this one. This is a queen palm. It's nice, it's beautiful, it's classic. In fact, the guy that built this house brought this home from Home Depot in the back of his pickup truck and planted it about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's big. It's the one with the pods.
Yes.
Those pods are big and they're vicious.
They're heavy, and when they do come down, they come down with a thud.
Yeah, they're heavy. They need to be professionally cut. When they hit the ground, you can actually feel it in the house, can't you?
I did.
Ka-thum.
I was in the front room and I heard it one day. Woo!
But it's a palm, it's Florida. We gotta have at least one palm, right?
One palm.
So we're gonna keep that one. This is a robolini. We love this. It stays kind of small. It has 5 trunks. Some of them only have 3. I mean, it can have whatever. But we really like this. It does have a lot of little thorns, which makes it very, very difficult to prune, and you will bleed, let me tell you that. But we like the robolini. The downside, it does burn during freezing periods. And some people have lost them, but we haven't. We've had really good luck with this one. We're gonna keep it.
Our plantings have changed in the last 4 years. We used to have a firecracker bush here that kind of spread out and kind of took over the area, and we decided to pull that out and put some other bushes. And since then we've had crotons here, and of course this one froze, and we've kind of moved them from different spots, so they've been kind of going through a growth spurts and some deprivation too. On this side we've had bushes. We also had boxwoods all through here, big tall boxwoods, and they were getting quite tall. So we wanted the area to have a better view from our chairs. So we took out the boxwoods and put some little blew my minds plants.
The thing is, it's been a process. And we're rookies, we're not used to Florida. We can tell you about Indiana, but down here it's a whole different ballgame. Things grow so fast.
They do, they take over.
We need professional help. So we have actually contacted 3 companies that have come by here. And we've decided to go with one on quite a project. We've gotten their recommendations. We're gonna remove the 2 Washingtonias, those giant palm trees. What a job that is. They're gonna actually remove the root ball and everything.
Yeah, it'll look different, but we'll put something back so we'll have a balance on each side of the house.
On the edge over here, it's quite sloped. All our rocks pour out into the yard after a heavy rain. We're gonna get a new raised bed there to kind of hold back those rocks. So hopefully we'll do that. But we've got an expert coming. When he gets here, we're gonna talk to you about it, kind of show you what he's got in mind, and we're gonna use the expert's advice. You excited about it?
I'm very excited about it.
It's gonna be an expensive proposition, but we're gonna bite the bullet and get it done. And hopefully we won't be doing it again. How many plants have we bought and put in here in 4 years?
I don't know.
Quite a few.
In and out and in and out.
As I said, we had several landscape contractors come here. We interviewed them. They looked at the project. One of them stood out to us above the others, and we hired him. It's Alan Vaca of AV Landscaping.
Hey guys, I'm Alan.
Thanks for coming here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What we want to do is, we intended to do this before the project was undertaken, but we've actually finished it. So it looks okay.
No, it looks better than okay.
It's awesome.
It looks fantastic. And he's going to tell you what we did. Okay, so when you came here the first time, you looked at what we had. What'd you think?
It was a little bit too messy.
Messy?
Weeds, low,
Yeah.
no figure, a little bit of design, but nothing crazy. The plants looked poorly. Not enough presentable.
Okay, so you knew there was a lot. And as I typically do, once a project gets started, I keep adding things on to the guy.
Yeah.
And we did that for him. So when you first came, you were going to take down the two big trees, the Washingtonias. And then we talked about a new wall. So we were talking about the rocks tumbling into the grass. And so we talked about a new wall. And then we talked about just a few new plants and save our old plants. And he straightened me out on a lot of these things because it's bad to mix the old and the odd sizes all together, and he came up with a plan. So what did we end up doing?
We ended up taking out the two Washingtonians on each corner of the house. We did brand new stack wall here on the front left and front right, and we did metal along the left side of the house, and grass on the right side of the house. And
Yeah, let me stop there. That's one of the extra things I added. We had bushes all down the side over here. And I said, what if we took all those out and put in sod? And he's so agreeable. He said, okay. And we did the same thing over there. And so he did that. And now it's beautiful. We've got new Empire Zoysia sod right there. We got to keep it watered.
We do.
But it's good. So you did that. Then what?
it keeps it less maintenance for you. Not a lot of trimming and not a lot of weeds.
Right.
Yes.
And we put new dirt in the beds. We put in new plants. Basically, all the plants are new except the Robolini and the Queen Palm.
Yeah.
We put irrigation and new plants in these pots. We put irrigation so that he doesn't have to come out and water them.
That's great. I really appreciate that.
And that Robolini, you've seen it in our videos before. It had 5 trunks. One of the trunks kept pushing into our light post, and I actually put a ratchet on there and was trying to train it to go upright, but it wants to do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
So we've noticed around that a Robolini can have 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 trunks. So he advised cutting 2 of them away and leaving 3, and it looks better than ever.
Yeah, it looks much tighter in the front of the house. You don't want it to be too wide because it blocks the whole view of the front. You want it just to have a little palm view, but nothing too wide because then it blocks the house view.
And we had a sprinkler guy that I asked him, could he put drip irrigation in some of our potted plants? And he's a sprinkler professional and he couldn't do it. He did it and it's beautiful. These 3 pots right here all have piped water. Every time we water this area, they get a drink of water.
Yeah.
And that's going to look nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, Linda ordinarily would water them.
And you don't see the line in the pot. It goes right underneath the middle.
That's right. Some people, they bring it out and they put it over the edge of the pot so you can see that line. This one comes up right through the dirt, right up the top. Super nice. Appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, that's hidden.
He coached us on the gravel and on the color of the stonework, and he sort of matched our roof with the blocks.
Yeah, it was a perfect combination with the two different tone rock, the lighter rock and the darker. And also the wall has a mixture of color, so it's not just one color, it's not boring.
Yeah.
And there's 2 different types of rock, lighter and darker.
Okay. We had
Crotons.
and they froze out on a regular basis, and we'd trim off some dead branches, and they never looked perfect after it dropped down to that freeze. So we decided to take all those out, and you put in...
We put in gardenia, schefflera. The 2 trees on the corners are Japanese blueberries. We put blue days, and we put in dwarf bottle brushes, and last but not least, dwarf ixoras.
Yeah, they have that orange flower. They're really pretty.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
But those Japanese blueberries are really neat corner plants.
Do they get berries?
Small ones.
I would imagine they do.
When they grow, but nothing crazy. It won't make a mess.
Yeah.
So I have to say, it took you all 3.5 days or so to do the project, and they worked hard.
Oh my
You guys
goodness.
arrived at 7:15, 7:30 in the morning, and you
Yeah.
were here till 5 or later at
Yes.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have to work to get the work done.
And you know what I really appreciate is you took out all our old gravel, hauled it away, took out our old weed barrier, which we had plenty of weeds. We've got a new fresh weed barrier. We've got new gravel. It looks like $1 million.
We made sure there was no dirt on the weed mat before the rock was laid, so that way there's not a lot of weeds in the beds.
I know you get a lot of business through word of mouth. That's how we got him. Our neighbors right over here did their home with him, and it's beautiful. And so we talked to him, and he came over and looked at our project. And boy, we're glad we hired you, especially for the irrigation. I think I counted almost 20 new
Misters.
misters.
Irrigation misters. We put in irrigation misters to make sure all plants were getting watered. Wherever there's new plants, they'll be getting water. Wherever there's no plants, you won't be watering just rocks.
Just rocks.
Because sometimes with the regular sprinkler heads in the plant beds, when there's a bigger bush on the corner and there's a sprinkler right on the corner, it blocks the big plant can take most of the water out, and it won't let the smaller plants receive the water they need. So wherever there's plants, there's plenty of water. And if you ever decide you want to add a couple more plants, you can always add more misters.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, I know a guy now that can do that for me.
Yeah, yes, sir.
But I have to tell you, we're 100% happy. It's not cheap. There's so much involved, these stones. There's a lot of stones out there.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of block, a lot of rock,
The weed barrier
we bear dirt.
and the machines. Oh my gosh, you've got all the greatest machines. I'm so envious. I have a tractor back in my farm in Indiana, and he's got skid loaders, bobcat kind of machines, tractors. You got giant trailers.
Yeah.
You gotta have the
dumpsters.
right equipment to make the job easier and not shovel the rock off the road and
Yeah.
lift it up and move the pallets around to make it easier on the
Yeah.
guys.
And the cleanup was great. They were sweeping the street, washing the sidewalk, washing the driveway. Everything was in place, not a rock out of place. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was a great part of it. You were very respectful of our grass, cleaned up the road. Excellent job all the way around.
Cleanup is the most important step because when you leave a job, people see how it looks when you're done.
Yeah, well, it looks great here. If people want to hire Alan, I'll put his link in the video description. But we are absolutely tickled to death.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you like our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with all your friends. Until next time.
See you when you get here.